All-out battle. Ukraine's Artillery Brigade destroyed dozens ammo depots in counterattack. The General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine posted a celebratory message on its Facebook page on Monday, telling citizens that Ukrainian forces damaged Russian strongholds and other key resources during attacks earlier in the day. Russian President Vladimir Putin launched his special military operation on Ukraine on February 24th, with belief that he'd quickly secure control over the Eastern European country. Ukraine responded with an unexpectedly strong defense, and the troops are still fighting nearly 7 months later. In its latest update, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine's Facebook post detailed actions of its troops against Russian forces, including the destruction of several Russian strongholds and ammo warehouses. Ukrainian forces said they mounted attacks, with aviation forces targeting 11 areas concentrated with Russian troops and equipment, an anti-aircraft missile system, and an ammunition depot. Other aerial attacks by Ukraine destroyed a Russian aircraft and 3 unmanned aerial vehicles. Rockets and Ukrainian artillery damaged 5 Russian strongholds in an effort that also damaged 3 ammunition warehouses. The post said total enemy losses are still being totaled. The attacks follow a heavy day of damage to Russian forces on Sunday, when 10 artillery systems, 5 units of military equipment, and enemy troops were targeted. The post reported that more than 100 Russians were injured in the attacks. "We believe in the armed forces. Together we will win," the post said. In addition to detailing Ukrainian attacks, the post also outlined its defense efforts. On Monday, Ukraine defended enemy attacks in Mykolaiv, Drua, Kurdyamivka, and Zaitsev. The enemy continues to focus its efforts on the organization of defense and holding the captured territories, attempts to fully occupy the Donetsk Oblast, as well as disruption of the active actions of the defense forces in certain areas, the post said. It fires at the positions of our troops along the contact line, takes measures to regroup his units in certain areas, introduces reserves, and does not stop aerial reconnaissance. Threats of air and missile strikes remain throughout Ukraine. On Monday, Russia launched 4 missiles and 9 airstrikes, as well as more than 11 multiple-launch rocket system attacks on military and civilian targets, according to the Post, which said the attacks violate the norms of international humanitarian law, laws, and customs of warfare. Media, which could not verify Ukraine's claims in the Post, reported that British intelligence showed Moscow ramping up attacks against civilian infrastructure. In addition to targeting Russian resources, Ukraine has persevered in other areas as well. It has launched several counteroffensives attempting to reclaim territory in the south and eastern parts of the country. One counteroffensive near Kharkiv forced Russian troops to retreat from key cities they occupied. Another counteroffensive attack reportedly cornered Russian forces between Ukrainian troops and the Dnipro River. Meanwhile, Putin is attempting to bolster his forces, proposing academic leave for students who fight in the war and enlisting prisoners as morale and manpower dwindle. Media reached out to the Russian Defense Ministry and the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine for comment. While running out of its own inventory of the M795 155mm shell, and Ukraine having already used possibly tens of thousands so far, the recent tactical victory at Kharkiv might just spur the U.S. to find a solution, as President Volodymyr Zelensky portrays it as a first major turnaround in the 6-month-long war. The U.S. Army, on August 18th, released a survey to find companies that can produce 12,000 M795 155mm artillery shells a month. This was after depleting its own stockpile when it supplied 800,000 rounds to Ukraine as of early September. A description of existing production capacity projected monthly production and delivery capability of 12,000 projectiles per month, maximum monthly production capacity, and if they have made this item or similar items in the past. The potential sources within the United States and Canada are expected to be able to load, assemble, pack, and deliver the 155mm M795 high explosive projectile. The M795 is the standard ammunition for the M777 lightweight towed howitzer used by the U.S. Army and U.S. Marine Corps. As of September 8th, the U.S. has transferred 126 M777 guns to Ukraine since Russia's military intervention began on February 24th. This is part of a $14.5 billion security assistance program, according to a Department of Defense fact sheet. However, in June 2021, the Army announced cutting its spending on 155mm shells to $174 million from $306 million for the fiscal year 2022.
You got two more. Hey, drop. Okay, stand up. Fire. Fire.